Oopsie, wrong button. How are we going to live mindfully in a world that's asleep? It would be helpful if my computer was behaving itself. There we go. Most of us drag our ass through life like the titular character of Shaun in Shaun of the Dead, especially in the first reel. Let me adjust that mic over here. Now do a quick, let's see, quick like a bunny. I'm going to hit studio mode and tap button 3. That's acceptable. Okay, let's close studio mode and get it on. I remember in 1999 when at last I got to watch The Matrix. And in the title credits, I got to hear Rage Against the Machine. And the top of my head blew off, to borrow a phrase from Jerry Seinfeld. Not only did it turn me on to Rage Against the Machine and progressive music, but it just woke me up. I mean, I'm some guy with, what's it called? Chronic fatigue syndrome, so I am Captain Drag His Ass. And that song just, it was like sticking, a paper clip in a wall socket. It really woke me up. So if you want to wake up, 2 things. Number 1, dopamine is your friend. So this is a trick we can borrow from folks with ADHD, like myself. The only way we survive with ADHD is knowing what excites our dopamine. An easy thing to use is exercise. The less equipment you need to use, the better. So for instance, if you can knock out a geriatric step back squat thrust maybe once an hour, that will wake you up. If you can spend 30 seconds to 60 seconds in meditation once an hour or so, it's going to wake you up. Frequent, brief meditations can be your friend. Now, they are no substitute for 2, formal meditation sessions a day, once every 12 hours or so. But it's kind of like this. I once asked a marathon runner how they trained, and he talked about building your base, starting 1 mile a day, and then after a month, 2 miles a day, then after a month, 3 miles a day, and, just gradually building 1 mile a month until you're running like 12 miles a day every day. From that point, you can build up to a full marathon in just a matter of months. But the idea is that you've conditioned your body over 1 to 3 years to acclimate to a certain amount. That same athletic wisdom can be brought into the spiritual path by nurturing a healthy meditation practice once every 12 minutes. And starting like 5 minutes a day, and then the first week, 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes per session. The second week, 15 minutes per session. The third week, within 12 weeks, you can really be comfortable and skilled in meditation. So much so that when you do a little micro meditation for the day, it's going to mean so much more to you, because building any type of habit, building any type of skill, in terms of neuroscience, is about not only building neural pathways, but strengthening neural pathways. And a great example of this can be seen when we go hiking. If you go hiking, you'll notice that some paths are very, very narrow, maybe just 1 inch or 2 wide. Those are called goat paths. When people start walking them, over time, those paths get wider and wider and wider, so you can just walk down those paths without even worrying about scraping yourself on a thorn bush. Similarly, the more we make a habit of meditation, using twice daily formal sessions, then when we do a micro meditation session, intermittently through the day, we're not tapping into a goat path. We're tapping into an 8-lane superhighway, neurologically speaking. Having said that, I think it could be great fun if right now together as a team, we chanted the Monday evening excerpt of the source text of Dzogchen, the known in Tibetan as Dorje Sempa Namka Che, or the total space of Vajrasattva, composed by Gaurab Dorje, also known as Prahe Vajra, translated from the Tibetan into the Italian by the late Chogyal Namkai Norbu, and translated from the Italian into the English by Adriano Clemente, adapted by yours truly. Now, allow me to remind you that if at any point during the remainder of this live stream you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. Together. The wisdom of greatness is difficult to find. It is realized through prajna and method. The greatness of Hatha Yoga flows from the method of noticing vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly during each inhalation, and the prajna accessed during each exhalation by the mental release that seems to surf upon the carrier wave of physical relaxation. Together, though it could be said to depend on something else, where bliss originates from oneself. Again, our favorite feminist reminds us that our bliss is not dependent upon guru or ritual. Together, the great miracle is not difficult or qualities and capabilities. Whether we recognize the benefits of the mundane's pacification, increased control or wrathful actions, or the supermundane's full enlightenment, the miraculous is at one time or another craved by all. Perhaps the greatest miracle is all one's choices, utterances, and deeds effortlessly and automatically flowing from love's centered spontaneity. Let's recapture the momentum. The great miracle is not difficult or qualities and capabilities. Through subtle understanding of the authentic condition immediately arise from oneself. Inhalation's awareness, vulnerable, passive, visceral, and random, is the root of authenticity, the key to recognizing both the causes of pain as well as the causes of pleasure. Together, meditation is relaxing without seeking. In the Dharmata's mastery of awareness and letting go that does not appear visibly. Here, in the 7th quatrain, we learn that meditation is comprised of physical relaxation and mental release. Together. If one actively searches either for the Dharmata or for something in it, the natural condition will never manifest. without vulnerability, passivity, and spontaneity. Passive awareness is not passive awareness, but instead degenerates into active concentration, the antidote to happiness and good fortune. Together, the supremely secret reality cannot be heard through the sense of hearing. Likewise, it cannot be expressed by the tongue, not even in the slightest. The dharmata, or mastery of awareness and letting go, is not hidden by the fearful or petty, but by the cloying ineptitude of yangs, hard patriarchal tendencies to be rigid, fearful, controlling, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. Ironically, it is only revealed by yin's soft matriarchal tendencies of being flexible, loving, laid back, lucid, cooperative, and kind. Oops, I forgot an adjective. I forgot two adjectives. All right. The benefits of so mastering mindfulness and meditation that we practice it spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively are as indescribable as the taste of a persimmon or the scent of an orange. Oh, well, what do you know? I would very much like to meditate with you tonight, and we shall begin that section of tonight's practice after less than 1 minute of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. I've spent more than half my life studying, practicing, and then reverse engineering the teachings, practices, and techniques of each school of Buddhism, so that I could play the Qui-Gon Jinn to your Yoda and help you to quickly and easily become the person that your dog already thinks you are. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. For our final pre-meditation chant, we shall play with the recitations of empathetic bodhicitta and enthusiastic refuge. We shall play with two versions. In the first version, it's going to be more literal, and we're going to set this recitation to the, what I like to call the triplet chant. Together. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. So this is not a prayer to some real or imagined entity. We simply are using words to exercise our intention. By the way, at the very bottom of the screen, there are 3 words highlighted, which are so useful that they've earned the metaphoric nickname of the 3 wish-fulfilling jewels. We're now going to perform a recitation that is more concise and more metaphoric. We're going to set this recitation to what I like to call the bookend chant together. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. Now let us review the meditation instructions. Mindfulness and meditation are known by many names, such as Zen, Proto-Zen, Chan, Dhyana, Mahamudra. Mahasandhi, Ati Yoga, Dzogchen, and Trekcho. There's a lot going on this page. Allow me to break it down for you. Let's start with mindfulness. Every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we automatically access our sympathetic nervous system, which is ensconced within the thoracic region of our spinal cord. It does not facilitate active concentration, but instead, simply perception, practiced vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. This is exemplified by the 12-syllable recitation that can be practiced during an inhalation, perceiving this very turbulent play of mind. This is not an affirmation. We're not reciting something that we want to be true someday, or that we wish were true, but isn't. We are telling the truth to ourselves. We have been lied to. We've been told that a monkey mind is a bad thing, but it's actually integral to survival. We evolved to have a monkey mind. What are some of the antics of mind? By the way, our mind is so playful. Well, I'll get there in a minute. So what are some of the antics of mind? Mind, through its sense organs, sees, hears, feels, tastes, smells, and the like. But that's not all. Internally, mind emotes, intends, reasons, recalls, and imagines. So yes, mind is very busy. And in tantric art, it is exemplified by this couple in joint tantric union. The female, the color of a cumulus cloud, is depicted as sporting with wild abandon, which typifies the play of mind. Now, if her partner was given to toxic masculinity, he might be overwhelmed or intimidated by her wanton, carefree exuberance. But instead, he's practicing yin. He's mellow, he's hanging out, he's enjoying the moment. Similarly, when it comes to meditation, every time we exhale, we automatically access our parasympathetic nervous system, which is ensconced in both the lumbar region of our spinal cord, as well as the cervical region of our spinal cord. It is wired in such a manner to support physical relaxation as well as mental release. And it can be exemplified by exhalation's 12-syllable recitation, relaxing into mind's non-graspable nature. Now, allow me to dispel some confusion. Those stuck in yang, those stuck in patriarchy, tend to follow one of two traps. Either the trap of superstitiously and rigidly believing the mind is literally non-graspable, or the trap of pseudo-intellectually striving to convince themselves and others that, once again, mine is literally non-graspable. However, you and I know better. As graduates of at least the 4th grade, we understand that not all statements are literal. Many are similes or metaphors or hyperbolic. So allow me to break it down for you. Every time we physically relax into our exhalation, all that we perceive during our previous inhalation could feel as if it was as non-graspable as a vast, empty void. It could feel as if it was as non-graspable as the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although could be quite tantalizing to the eye, is most certainly intangible to the hand. This is the root of the metaphor of emptiness. When we relax into our exhalation, that which we noticed during our previous inhalation could feel as non-graspable as if it had never been born. As if it was birthless, as if it was deathless, as if it was not even us. Welcome to Buddhism Decoded. This is a lot of information to play with. So now that our minds are most likely a little bit tuckered out, together as a team, let's meditate as transformatively as Yoda on Dagobah, under the guidance of the Force Ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn, as described in the final reel of Revenge of the Sith. Now, please do not be shy the moment you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them. Type that question in the great detail in the chat window, and be sure to press the send icon. Now we're going to shift gears from the 12-syllable exercises to the basic 3-syllable exercise. As we inhale, we could silently and mentally recite, "Notice this." And as we exhale, we could silently and mentally recite, "Relaxing." If we want to, when we catch ourselves planning, we could always replace the phrase "notice this" with the 3-syllable word "cognition." We don't play with labels to make thoughts go away. We play with labels to harness phenomena, to help them work for our meditation instead of against it. If you don't feel good, if you feel pain, or if you feel you have a sore throat or something, you could replace the phrase "notice this" with the word "sensation." Instead of enduring uncomfortable sensations or trying to shove them away, we can harness them and capture their kinetic energy and allow them to turn the cogs and the wheels and the gears of the meditation machine, metaphorically speaking. If we find ourselves imagining, that's just fine. Sometimes we can find ourselves recollecting. Please join me in the adventure of switching gears from the three-syllable exercise to the one-syllable exercise. I apologize for slurring. I am quite fatigued right now, and because of my myalgic encephalomyelitis, the more fatigued I get, the more I slur. So if that's inconvenient, I sincerely apologize. As we breathe in, we could silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this, and as we exhale, we could silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease, which is a synonym for relax. And you'll notice with the one-syllable version, sensation, feel, and emotion, feel does double duty. Instead of recall, we use the preposition then. And instead of imagine, we use the verb dream. Sometimes as we sit in meditation, we can enjoy a light show. It is neither good nor bad, it simply is. And when that happens, we can silently and mentally recite "see, ease," until something else comes to the forefront. Let us seal this evening's meditation practice with a bit of the old chanting, beginning with kind ethics and concluding with the 4 immeasurables. May all beings practice of kind communication, conduct, and calmness flow spontaneous and uncontrived. May everyone be free from misery. May everyone be happy. May no one be separated from the happiness. May everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging freed. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 1/4 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's morning meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, this is the way.